All right, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Artists on Deck, the show. Very excited to have the amazing Laura Marano joining me today. It's been so long, Laura. How are you? It's great to see your face.
Morning! I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah, been a long time since I've seen your face. I've been a long time since I've seen your face also in person because
I know
we're being in person. Super excited that we're open right now, and that's also super weird to me.
Right.
But I've been good. I was out of the country earlier this year, so
were you in was it New Zealand?
I was in both. I was in New Zealand and Australia.
Okay.
And it's now really strange for you that it's open in LA, but it was really open there too. So I don't know. I feel really grateful that a lot of my year I've been having it quite more normal than last year for sure.
Yeah, because New Zealand was like way ahead of the curve on the whole COVID thing. And while we were all like in our bunkers here, they were like out enjoying life. So you were there while we were all here on lockdown. You were down in New Zealand. So tell me.
Bizarre. I mean, it was culture shock of like, wait, we can eat indoors?
Right.
We can like be in a bar and like drink next to each other? What?
Yeah.
Like this is, I don't know this person though, and this is a location, a public location. It was bananas. It was super weird to kind of get used to, and then I totally got used to it. I was like, this is great. I'm like, remember how this is normal? This is awesome.
And then you come home and you're like, all right, back to sweatpants and inside. I'm not mad about that at all.
Totally. You know what? I feel like I was able to like take breaks because then when I was back here, I kind of was okay with it. I was a little bit like, I'm okay not driving and being in sweatpants and just doing Zoom.
Yeah.
I do feel like we're all a little zoomed out, but I also feel like, you know what? Zoom, I think will stay in this idea of aspect of like for interviews, for the fact that people from different locations can all have a meeting together where we can see faces. I do think that will stay, but I also think we're all very, very antsy to see people.
Yeah, I know. All the introverts are like low key, like, are we sure it seems too soon to like open everything up? Like I have to leave the house and everything like that.
I'm like low key wanting to continue to wear my mask because a little like not selfishly, but like for kind of a weird reason. Obviously safety, but not really because we're vaxxed and it's like we're open and everything. But I like the idea that I like never get recognized anymore.
Right.
Have my mask. And the thing is like maybe I'll start putting more effort into my appearance now that we're open. But for all last year I was like sweatpants town. Like I'm
under the radar.
Yeah, and I've never had to worry about someone being like, oh my God, can we take a photo? And me being like, yes, of course, even though I look horrific. So I kind of love that, but I do feel like, will the mask be the new, when like people wear like baseball hats and sunglasses in malls and they're celebrities and it's almost like that's more of a, more of like a tidbit of like, is that someone I should know? So I wonder if masks will be the new, like, is that someone or
you could do a mask and a hat and sunglasses and you could be Brad Pitt walking next to me and I have no idea.
100%. So I weirdly might stay sometimes wearing a mask in that situation, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm also excited to not have it.
I know it's weird that things are opening up now. It's like we all like can't wait for it, and then when it's here, it's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like I'm out at Dodger Stadium now and they're full capacity. 50,000 people around, and it's like weird. Like it made me like anxious at the beginning because I'm just like not used to being around that many people. It's like we have to almost like slowly ease back into it after taking time. Me anyway. I don't know.
No, I totally know what you mean. I have no idea how to interact with people anymore. I'm like, do we hug? Do we?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever do a handshake again, but I also feel like I don't know how to not do a handshake, so I just go for a hug. But I'm like, is that so weird? Like I have no idea how to act normal around people.
Everyone's trying to figure it out. Like you meet people now, and it's like, hey, nice to meet you. Like fist bump, or I'll just do nothing. I'll just do like a hey.
It's so strange. It's never been weirder to meet new people than
Yeah,
right now.
I know. Well, now that things are opening up, it'll be nice to, be out and about. I think that we all have to go back to Disneyland at some point soon.
Oh my God, that was so fun.
We
I
haven't been in
liked
so long.
Disneyland so much. I went um at the end of 2019, like
Okay,
went back
good.
in December. And things didn't get crazy until like March in LA, at least until like March 2020.
Yeah.
So I had my Disneyland fix, but I mean, if it were up to me, I would go like every month. I love it so much. So I'm excited to go back at one point.
I know people now that there's no mask there, like the line was around out the door and around the corner. So I'm gonna let all that craziness die down a little bit, and then we'll plan a trip. But today's actually a really exciting day. It is Friday, but I know we've been counting down to this because your new deluxe EP is officially out. So tell me a little bit about how you're feeling. I know since you posted that, the fans were really excited, and it was like a countdown going on, and now it's here. It's out for everyone to listen to.
Yeah, it's bittersweet because it feels to me like this is a little bit of the official last chapter of this era.
Right.
And I or the last page of this chapter, however, whatever book metaphor is better suited. But it just, I have spent such a long time with this EP. In some ways it's a little bit of the sequel of my first EP, the Me EP.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these songs were written around the same time the Me songs were written. I wrote some of these songs years ago. I wrote one song on the EP very recently. All of these remix duet versions are all like completely new within the last year. But I've just spent a lot of time on this EP, and it feels like I'm officially ready to let this chapter go and let it go. And I let it go into the universe and have people listen. Obviously, I released the original in October of 2020, and I wasn't really done with it quite then. So, now having the fully fleshed out thesis of there are two sides to every story, there's different perspectives of the truth and and that kind of like different theme. I've really explored thoroughly from all angles. I got new artists to give their version of the story and their perspective with these new songs, and I'm so happy for it to be out. I'm like sad. I'm a lot of feelings right now for sure. But I'm definitely mostly excited for everyone to listen to. Mostly all my fans have heard literally almost every song on this EP. But there are two versions that people are just hearing for the first time that I'm really excited for people to hear.
That must be really cool, like, to be an artist, to have these songs that, are close to, like you said, some of them were from a while ago, and, maybe stuff that you were experiencing at that time. Some are more recent as you grow as an artist. So it really is kind of this, storybook of all these songs in different chapters. And then you get to release it, and the fans get to hear it and kind of get a little peek inside your head and the things you're going through. And at that point you get, you give it over to them, and then they get to enjoy it. And that must be kind of a cool moment for you as an artist.
100%. And I think another aspect of this new era has really been involving the fans and really been incorporating their creativity and their talent. I've had them help me make artwork for certain songs. I've had them help me make like lyric videos. They've been a really huge part of this process. And so that's why I was really excited for them to hear a version of Something to Believe In that they haven't heard, the Something to Believe In You remix, which is kind of the final culmination, the grand finale of their participation. I actually, secretly had fans submit their version of singing Something to Believe In, and their singing. And I selected 10 fans to be on Something to Believe In with me. So they are
that's so cool.
With me on the song.
Wow.
It is released into the ether. And I'm really excited for that because I've never felt closer to my fans than this era of music, and I feel even more close to the fact that they're on the song with me.
That's so cool, dude. That's like something that they're gonna like remember forever. And I feel like you are, we've known each other for a while. You're one of these artists that you've always been so good to your fans. You've always been, so accommodating of them and including them and interacting with them on socials and when you see them in person. So I feel like that's kind of, a full circle moment to be able to have them actually on a track with you. I mean,
Yeah,
that's so
yeah.
cool.
I mean, I definitely, I feel very grateful to have them. You know, it is funny with social media and having fans and all these kind of different aspects of figuring out sometimes boundaries for yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's a part of me that just always wants to talk with them and be with them and hang. And I care so deeply about them and care so deeply, obviously, from a selfish point of view of how they think of me and
Yeah.
that they're, loving the music and products and acting and all the things that I'm putting out. But it can feel sometimes like a full time, I can't do anything else job of being on social media and doing social media it's a whole
Yeah.
other kind of job and world.
Yeah.
But I balance that out with going on and going off as much as I can because I really do love hearing their input and talking with them and having them part of the process with me. I really do feel so grateful to have them, and I love them so much.
Well, they love you too. And today is an exciting day for the fans because they get this deluxe EP.
Yes,
So that'll keep
yes.
them well fed for a little while until they start demanding more from
That's
you.
the thing. I think they're already like, okay, we get it. This new era, we get it, Laura. Like new music. Let's do this. So
They're like, it's been
I'm
on
definitely
repeat.
yes, I'm definitely figuring out different things I can do in the next few months because I'm gonna be like writing and recording the next chapter for me in the next kind of group of music. But I definitely want to keep engaged with my fans. So I'm figuring out some fun different things that I can do with my fans in the next few months that definitely keep them part of the process and involved and us hanging essentially.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's important now more than ever too. I mean, coming off this year when we've all felt a little secluded and, kind of social media has been the avenue that we've used to stay in contact with people, fans, friends, family, everything like that. So, I know this means a lot to them that you're able to do that and, put out new music and a new EP, which leads me, I mean, you touched on it there as we get into, this next chapter, like you said, it's a bit bittersweet, kind of wrapping up the you chapter as we wrapped up the me chapter. And now, as you continue to grow and evolve as a person and as an artist and have new experiences and new things to write about, what sort of things are you planning on kind of getting into as you reach this new chapter?
Yeah, I think a lot of things. I do definitely feel like I'm a little bit at the next chapter of just my life in general.
Yeah.
So I think there is a lot of kind of self discovery I'm figuring out for myself. Figuring out relationships and all of the emotions that come with them. So I have plenty of things that I'm very ready to write about. I feel like I haven't been this creative in a really long time. It's almost like every few hours a different idea comes to me and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that down and work on it. I haven't really full blown gone to my keyboard or piano yet and just like written a whole song. But I have literally like I write in a journal and I've been on my iPad, so I just have like pages of like different like one
Right.
lines or different things that I've been doing. So I'm really excited to officially kind of go in the studio and either kind of fully flesh out a song by myself first and bring that in, or like just kind of bring some of these
Yeah.
ideas and go from there. Yeah, I'm just like ready and excited.
Do you have you found it, easy to stay creative during this kind of chapter? I know you've been traveling a little bit, but everyone's kind of had their ups and downs over the last year. But have you found it kind of easy to stay creative to come up with some of these ideas, or has it been challenging for you as an artist that kind of needs experiences to write about and things like that, where we all kind of feel like we were lacking a bit of those experiences over the last 12 months?
Yeah, I think recently I feel very creative. I'm
Yeah.
like my creative, I don't know. I don't know why this image came to my head. My creativity bowl is very
Is
full.
full.
Yeah, I don't know why that. Wow, maybe I'm not as creative as I thought. But the past year, I mean, I think creativity is a funny word because it can apply to a lot of different things. I feel like I had to get creative
Yeah.
solely because I was doing a lot of things that I wasn't used to doing on my own. So there was a lot of things I had to become good at that I
Right.
am not good at, like cinematography and lighting,
Right. All like the
and
behind the
sound,
scenes kind of stuff. Yeah.
and, yes, and interior design. So there was a lot of different avenues that I was utilizing my creativity last year. Was I writing a bunch? No, not particularly. I did a couple like Zoom sessions. I did a couple like just moments of me just writing. One of my songs that I wrote by myself, that was the most recent song on the EP. It was called Run. I wrote that earlier in 2020, but I wrote that before the pandemic really hit LA hard. So, I think for acting, like that wasn't really
Yeah.
happening for a lot of 2020. I got to kind of itch that itch when in New Zealand when I was, filming a movie there. But I think I certainly resonate with a lot of writers and artists who, was almost felt frustrated with themselves in terms of like writing
Right.
creativity. That felt like here we have so much time and we have,
Right.
the most we've ever been at home, and yet my creative well is completely dry. And I did resonate though. I feel like there was almost a lot of pressure to be.
Right. That was like the thing too, that like so many people I feel like were feeling like they're like I finally have time. People like especially like you that are always so busy and traveling and doing things back. It's like I finally have time to myself. I should be cranking stuff out, or I should be writing a song a day, and it just doesn't happen like that. And I feel like we had to like really try to like be good to ourselves and like be understanding about all that, because it was probably easy to just fall into the place of like I'm like not taking advantage of this time, but we all needed to be okay with that because it was so different.
Yeah, I think what a lot of people realize in this past year, at least for me, is I still kept ridiculously busy, and almost frustratingly so, where I felt like I was so busy and stressed, but not really productive.
Right.
It was the worst kind of feeling. But I think for a lot of people, it was very much I need to put, I have the time to put effort into something I've always wanted to do, or work, or something I haven't spent the time on. And I think we found, wait, there's a lot of stuff we need to deal with internally and emotionally,
Yeah.
logically, that really came up for a lot of us, that usually pushed those issues down
Yeah.
and used avenues of work or other kind of
Absolutely.
ways of
Yeah.
distracting ourselves from real issues. And so I think what happened to a lot of people was, oh, I have all this time to do this stuff, but wait, why is this feeling coming up in this
Yeah.
issue, in this situation? And I think a lot of people did kind of realize, oh, I need to work on myself and work on some of these things that I'm doing. But it was really confronting, and
Yeah.
some people were able to do it, I think, successfully. Some people, I think, really struggle with that. I mean, I think it's not a secret. A lot of people really, really struggle with their mental health this past year. And I
Yeah.
think that is a really, that's a conversation that has become less stigmatized, which is awesome. But I still feel like we have ways to go of making it even more less
Yeah.
stigmatized, and have a really as open and transparent and honest conversations about that as possible.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. Yeah, it was a year that tested us, and I feel like like you said, put us in a position where we kind of had to confront a few things, or it was kind of like this is now staring at me and I got nowhere else to go with it. So it's like, we have to.
This or my walls. So
Right. Yeah.
like,
Yeah. We got to tackle that. So, I totally understand. And, everyone watching, I hope you guys are doing good. And,
yeah,
like we said, we're always so outspoken about making sure everyone is good with themselves and being kind to themselves and, getting help if they feel like they need it.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think we can all do always with a little bit more kindness. And when I say that, I'm not just saying kindness to other people, I'm saying kindness to ourselves. Like
Yeah.
really working on showing that love and kindness to your individual self, I think goes a really long way with how you treat other people.
Absolutely. Well said. We could all use a little more Laura Marano in our lives. That is for sure. Before we let you go, we were talking about the creative process that you've been going through. Again, the new EP is out today, which is an exciting time, I know, for an artist. Do you personally have a favorite part in the process? Meaning, like you said, coming up with an idea or a lyric or a melody, writing it down, iPad, going to the keyboard, knocking out a few things, trying to figure that out, going to the studio, writing lyrics, recording, putting it out for the fans, performing live. I mean, I know there's so many parts in a process of a song from start to finish, but do you personally have a part in that process that like really like gets you going?
There's so many parts that I love. As you're saying that, I one really pops in particular, in addition to another one. But the first one I would say is when the song is officially written. So not recorded yet, but
Right.
written. And it's your first time or second time or third time, however time, where you are playing and singing that song as a whole that first time down. I love that. We have just spent all this work of finding the song. We haven't recorded yet. It's not finished by any means, but the actual writing of it is done, and listening to what you just created in the flesh for the 3 minutes of that song is part of one of my favorite parts of the process. It gets me really excited to record. It gets me really excited to like share it.
That's like a very like intimate process, right? In that moment, like before it's kind of gotten to other people's ears or even a produce. It's just like I would imagine, I'm not a singer-songwriter, but I would imagine that's a very kind of intimate time with just you
100%.
and that song for that little period before it starts to kind of grow and take on a life of its own.
100%. It is intimate and it's really special. And you're kind of like in this moment right now, this is exactly, exactly it's perfect form in some ways because we haven't tried to create it any other ways. Once you're recording and you're, you get you become a bit of a perfectionist, a bit of like, oh wait, this isn't how I imagined. I want this or I want this.
Right.
But there's something about singing it singing it all the way down where you're like, it's exactly how I imagine. I love this, blah blah blah. So I love that. I didn't get to do this a lot last year, but I do love when I'm planning a music video. Sometimes I can really instantly imagine the music video for the song right away. Sometimes I can't. It kind of depends on what I'm feeling with the song and if I can imagine something. But I instantly have this excitement of what it's going to look like visually and what story, what is the kind of strategy of what the music video tone is going to take. So that I love that process as well. And of course I love when it's out and I get to celebrate with fans. I almost always feel like on release day I'm doing other things, especially because I'm like consistently trying to release as much music as possible, and I'm just like consistently hustling and working hard and doing as much as I possibly can, possibly. But I always feel like on release day there's a little bit of like, oh my god, yeah, my song is coming. Or like, oh yeah, it's out. I go on Twitter, go on social media, and, after the post, because the post is not my favorite part. The post I always get like, we're stressed about like, is everyone who is a part of the song, did I tag them? Are there right caption? But once this is the right link to the song, but once that is done and I get to see everyone's reactions and talk with them about it, that is the best feeling. That is really, really just so special to me. Of it's actually out and people can enjoy it and resonate with it, and we get to like listen and hang and party together.
Absolutely. Well, you should enjoy those release days. It's a lot of hard work that's been put in,
Yes.
And like we said, that Deluxe EP is officially out now. Before I let you go, Laura Marano, I got to end on a fun note. Now, I know you've been working a lot. You said you just like if you needed a break, like let's say you had a weekend of nothing, just a weekend of you to do whatever you'd want to do right now. What would be your go-to way to spend a weekend?
On the beach. I'd be a little, okay. The thing is, I don't love crowds. So I feel like I always want to go to the beach on the weekend, but I'm always like, oh, it's going to be so crowded. But I'm such a beach girl. I love the beach. I feel very at home there. So, you know, if I could, I would like dip down to Hawaii for the weekend and
Right.
just
It'd be
do
like a
something.
private beach. It'd be like, you
Give
know,
me a
somewhere
private,
warm there.
so not my life, but
Right.
like give me a really secluded beach
Yeah.
that I can just be on the sand, be in the sun, be in the water, and just relax. That is my dream.
That sounds fantastic. Well, I hope you find some time for that. You've been working so hard, dude, and you deserve it. It was so nice to catch up with you and see your face, and I appreciate the time, and you're just killing it. And I can't wait to see the next chapter from you and your music. It's been amazing to just watch you grow and evolve musically and as a person. And you know, we being the fans cannot wait to see what's next. And yeah, we're looking forward to it, Laura.
Man, Morgan, you're the freaking best. This was so lovely. I'm so excited for you. You're just always one of my favorite people to talk to, and
Thank you.
keep rocking and being amazing. You're
I'm
killing
gonna try. I'm gonna try. I appreciate you so much. Hopefully, we can make it out to Disneyland or something soon. We can
Yes.
hang out in person and hang for a bit.
I would love that. Yes, 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 yes.